it was a place for them to go and kept them out of trouble, I'd say. The Chick-In, you can say, if somebody ask you anything, and then you mention Winters, and they will say, oh, Chick-In. I mean, they know about the Chick-In,
The Chick-In was part of the fiber of Winters. It was the thread that kind of held us all together. As youngsters, we'd get our new cars and we'd drive to the Chick-In and we'd drive around the Chick-In and we'd go back down to the north and turn around, and the various vintage will tell you they turned around at various places, but you always went back to the Chick-In.
And it wasn't just Winters. There were folks all around the surrounding communities that knew about the Chick-In.
That was the place that everybody went to, was Chick-In, young and old.
When I was a teenager growing up in Winters, I must have asked 100 or more girls, meet me at the Chick-In. It's the first time anyone ever showed up.
Well, it happened because of Facebook.
Mike Bedford used Facebook to post a simple question. How many of you are old enough to remember going to the Chick-In on a Saturday night?
And the response to that was just overwhelming. And because of that response, it was suggested that perhaps we could get a historical marker.
It brings people together, and it brings back a lot of memories that people had just sort of laid aside. How life was back then. Most people did not leave town, and their entertainment was just going to the Chick-In to see their friends.
A lot of people met their future spouses at the Chick-In. More than one marriage proposal was delivered there, and at least one marriage was performed by Judge J.C. Hutton.
There was a National Tribune article earlier this year, and it was called The Big Benefits of Small Towns. And the reporter analyzed a variety of sources to show that crime is lower in small towns. You know your neighbors, and they're usually your friends as well, and they take care of you.
The Wilsons, they were the Chick-In. When she bought that thing, it was a little old drive-in, and she named it the Chick-In. I was manager of the theaters here in Winters, and Leonard's one that taught me how to clean a grill and to heat it and everything. And they were a great couple. I had some good times at the Chick-In, but a lot of the stuff that I did out there, I can't tell you what I did.
The state requires that you get your context accurate. In the beginning, I don't think we really appreciated how much effort this would be. Having the Lions Club build a mobile concession stand that would be a replica. We ultimately designed our own logo with T-shirts and coffee mugs. It was an effort that played out over some 18 months to 2 years. But once that was all done, we submitted it to the state and just sat back and wait.
On March 14, 1982, a tornado touched down south of Winters and began a path toward the Chick-In. Homes and businesses were destroyed, and the damage to the little drive-in was so extensive the building was demolished.
There would be about 30 years period of time in the history of Winters that would have been lost.
I'm from the class of 71, but we had people here that were teenagers in the early 50s. So you're spanning the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and into the 80s. So you're going across 4 decades.
I've always kept the pride of having been from Winters. The small town roots that you have can carry you a very long way, and I've never forgotten that. I remember the people here. I remember the wonderful things that Winters has meant to me, and the Chick-In and the Fiesta Drive-In. All of that was part of my youth.
You can't walk for exercise in a small town because people keep stopping to offer you a ride. We laugh at these things mostly because we know they're true, and we have experienced them for ourselves, and that's the beauty of small town culture.
Sitting in the cafeteria today, listening to our actual ceremony, I wouldn't be surprised that there weren't 200 to 300 people there, and for a community this size, that's tremendous. And the turnout was just overwhelming to me.
I'm very proud to be from small town America, and I'm very proud to be from Winters, and it's been a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you.
stories, because I think that's the thing that we find in the end. You can do a whole lot of things, and things really don't matter. People do.
It brings back memories of a simpler time. I see smiles on people's faces remembering those things and just who you are and where you're from, because that follows you all your life.
I just think that it's an opportunity for all of us to look back, think back, and for a new generation to be able to hear and feel our stories and understand what this town can mean.
But there'll never be another Chick Inn. That was the one and only.